Hi, my name is Alice, and gardening is one of my hobbies. And when my company decided to create a community garden, I volunteered my time and services to help out. My first task is to do the layout of where we want the plants to go, and I am going to use a popular diagramming tool called Visio to help me accomplish this.
I'm using the newest release of Visio, Visio 2010, and the look and feel is a little different. They've added the ribbon and improved the UI, so designing our garden will be simple. First, I'm going to insert my pictures of the plants that I want to use in my design layout. So on the ribbon, I'm going to hit Insert, Pictures. There's my vegetable garden images. I'm going to highlight them all and paste them into my drawing. So I'm just randomly pasting these, and then I'm going to start placing them in the areas that I want them to be planted. Now that I have all my shapes laid out the way that I want them, I'm going to use a new feature in Visio 2010 called Containers to group them together. So I'm going to highlight all of the shapes that I want grouped together. Let's use our status bar here to make that a little larger so we can zoom in on that. So I've selected my shapes, and I'm going to go up to the ribbon and click Insert, Container. There we go. So there's quite a selection here of the style, so you can go in and change the style. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to type in my heading of herbs, and there I have grouped all of my herbs together in a single container with Visio. Now that I've grouped my shapes using containers, I'm going to use the new Shapes window and search for additional gardening shapes. As you can see, our shape search brought up quite a few selections for us. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple hedges to our drawing, spice it up a little bit. Now what's really great about the Shapes window here, it has so much flexibility. I can move it, I can enlarge it, I can close my windows, I can go look for more shapes. So let's say we want to look for garden accessories. Go ahead and do that through the More Shapes option. And then I can minimize it to have more working room, and again add it back over to this side of my screen. So I know that I'm going to want to design a garden again, so I'm going to save my pictures as my own personal stencil. So in the Shapes window, if I click the drop down for More Shapes, New Stencil is an option, and I am going to copy and paste the images that I currently have that I want to use in the future as a custom icon set. So I'm going to name these. This is my basil, and these are my carrots. I can also click on the entire container and save the container as its own custom stencil. Copy and paste, and there I have, this is my herb garden shape. The next thing I want to do is connect some data to each one of these shapes in my diagram. So I'm going to go to the status bar here, and I am going to zoom in on this herb container. And then I'm going to go to the ribbon and hit the Data tab and click Link Data to Shapes. So my plant list is in an Excel workbook. So I'm going to browse my desktop and find my plant list. There it is. So I am going to use all of the data, all columns, all data. You can select particular columns and particular data, but we're going to choose it all. And I am going to identify this with the plant name. That's correct. Click Finish, and there is all my information on each plant. Now that I've brought my data into my Visio diagram, I'm going to go ahead and link that data to individual shapes. So I hit the automatically link on the ribbon, and my plant and plant automatically link all shapes on this page. There we go. So what happens when Visio automatically links is it shows you a link icon here in your external data window. How do I check this? I click on the shape data window and I click on an image, and I see that all of my data for basil is indeed connected to that shape. Well, I'm almost ready to submit this layout to the garden committee. I think what I'll do is just add a background. So again, on the ribbon in the Design tab, I have a series of backgrounds I can choose from. I can also choose from a title or border. And then what I like most of all here is that there is quite a selection of themes. So let's go ahead and try this blue theme, apply that to our diagram. Excellent. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the File tab, click Save and Send it via email as an attachment to the garden committee.
Thanks for joining me as I created my diagram in Visio 2010.